Hello everyone, it's Lorraine with Lorraine Murray Fitness, and we have been talking about the series, Am I Good Enough? Are you a good enough parent? Are you a good enough mother? And to kind of wrap everything up today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about enjoying motherhood. It is so easy to forget to enjoy the ride while we're on it that I wanted to touch on it because it's so very important. So, one of the things that I think we struggle with as mothers is setting up expectations of what motherhood looks like before we ever have kids. I mean, I'm guilty of it, and I'm sure most of you are guilty of it, but we go around in our daily lives and we see parents, and before you have kids, you're like, I am not going to be that parent. My child will not throw a tantrum on the floor in Target over a toy. They will know better. They will not do that. They will behave better than that. And I can't believe that parent is dealing with this. You also probably have said to yourself, my kids are going to eat what I cook, and they're going to love it, and they're never going to cry over it, and they're never going to throw it on the floor. And what this does when we set this expectation up for ourselves about how we're going to parent, what parenting is going to be like, we fall short. We fall short on the fact that we swear up and down that we're never going to yell at our kids. And when you yell at your kids, you feel very guilty, and it's hard. So one of our major things that I think we mess up on from the very beginning before we even have kids is just pretending to know what parenting is like. It's not the movies. It's not about that time that you see the parents walking in the park and they're just picking flowers and there's rainbows over everything. It's not that. That's not everyday parenting. That's like a small fraction of the reality of parenting. And, you know, the reality is your kid is going to be the kid that's screaming in Target because you won't buy them a lighter. They don't even know what a lighter is. They've never seen one, but they're going to cry because you're not going to buy it for them. You are going to have the kids in the middle of a restaurant that are screaming at you because you got them macaroni when they ask for macaroni. It's going to happen. So, you know, if we could limit the expectations before we have kids, we would be doing way better. But I believe that you can find joy in every moment of parenting, or at least after the fact. I'm going to share just a couple examples of my life and how I found joy in some of the really hard moments. So if you don't know who I am or my family at all, I have two children. They're girls. I have a 6.5-year-old who is getting ready to finish up kindergarten, and I have an almost 4.5-year-old who is in preschool. Back in December, we're going to start with my younger daughter. Back in December, my daughter had to have brain surgery unexpectedly for a condition that she has had since birth, but we didn't know. Now, it was brain surgery and she's doing great, but what that's done is it's put a huge fear in my heart as a mom to protect this child but not keep her in a bubble. And my story that I want to share with you is just happened recently, and some of you may have heard it, but I'm going to share it for the people that haven't heard it, is that she, 4.5 months after having brain surgery, decided that she's going to ride a bicycle with no training wheels. And if you have never experienced a child that has limitations and you have to be careful with them because they're more fragile, you probably don't really know what this feels like, but hopefully you can imagine. So I have a child that had brain surgery, that had part of her skull removed, and it's not back in there, so she's a little more fragile than most. And she's 4.5, and she goes, Mom, I want to ride a bicycle without training wheels. And I go, oh, honey, I said, maybe we should wait for Dad, because truth be told, my mommy heart cannot handle this, and I sometimes feel like I am not strong enough to do this. But this child was adamant that she was going to ride this bicycle. So I get the bicycle. She has a balance bike. She's been doing that, doing really well. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll get the bicycle with the wheels, but no training wheels that we have, and we'll put it in the garage and you can play around on it. So I get it out and I help her go from one end of the garage to the other, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this child can ride a bike, and I took my hands off and off she went. And then she surprises me by saying, Mom, can I go down the road, down this hill on this bicycle that I just tried riding for the first time? And I'm like, oh babe, I'm like, come on, let's just wait for Daddy because he's gonna miss it. And she's like, no Mom, I wanna do it now. So I go outside and I let my child, who just had brain surgery, ride down the hill on the road on a 2-wheel bike before she's even 5. And my fear was so great. And at the time, I felt like all I could worry about was, is she going to get hurt? But when she got to the bottom of that hill and she looked up at me, and the smile on this child's face and the proudness that she was just booming with, I found joy in that fear, because it made me realize that, yes, she is fragile, but she is so capable of everything that she wants to do, that she, within limit. And I had to find that joy through the fear, because I can't live in fear. And it's really hard sometimes, but there's that joy. You have to find it in those moments. So anyway, that's my happy story. Now I want to tell you a little bit more of the story that made me cry. And I still feel this bad about it, even though it happened a little while ago. And it's about my older daughter. And before I get into it, we all try to teach our kids manners and how to apologize and, bubbles, like stay out of people's bubbles. And we do our best, and we all pray that one day they're going to catch on. So this is kind of a story that leads into that, and how you can find joy in a really hard moment. So one day after school, Raylan, my oldest, comes home, and I don't know exactly what happened, but she hurt me. She came up to me and she hurt my stomach and my back. And of course, out of pain, I yelled at her. I was upset. I couldn't understand why she would want to hurt me. Like, I thought it was purposefully. And of course, my instinct was to yell. And I have a child that is screaming at me now, not saying anything I can even understand, but she's screaming at me. And she runs away, and she runs into the office that I'm in now. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, I feel bad that I yelled at her, but why is she hurting me? So a few minutes later, probably like 5 minutes later, out comes this sad little kindergartner with tears running down her face, and she looks miserable, and I'm feeling this big when I see how sad she is. And she comes out with this little, I'll show you, it's written on the back now, but she comes out with this folded little piece of paper and her head hanging down like this. And I'm like, oh babe, I'm like, what'd you do? And I'm like, come here, come sit on me. And she crawls up into my lap and she hands me this piece of paper. And this is what I posted, guys. This is the paper I posted. I'm going to read it to you. So I have my little babe on my body, sitting on me, and we're hugging. And I'm like, sorry, I yelled at you. It wasn't very kind, and I'm really sorry. And then I get this little handwritten note that says, I love you. I'm sorry for hugging hard on your back. Love, Raylan, to mommy. You want to know what that made me feel? It made me feel this small, that I yelled at my kid for hugging me, and at the same time, I found this huge joy inside of me that I'm like, oh my gosh, all of my hard work. Sorry, apparently my battery's getting low. All of my hard work in parenting along with Steve's is working. This child realized that she hurt me, and she felt remorse for it. She felt bad, and she came in and made this apology note without me prompting her. That's like a huge milestone in someone's life, is to be able to apologize without your parent telling you to apologize. So even though I felt this big and everybody's feelings were hurt, what I did is I found joy in that moment, and joy that all of our parenting is paying off. We don't see it often, but it's working, and she's learning. And that in itself was such a great feeling. So there's happy moments that you can easily find joy in. There's fearful moments that you have to look hard and find the joy as well. And then there's really, really hard, sad moments where you have to work really hard to find the joy, but it's enjoyable. It's, once you're through it, look back and learn something from it, and share your experience with your kids and tell them what you learned. But every moment in parenting is not easy by any means. And some days it's about getting through the day going, woohoo, I survived, where's the glass of wine? Or whatever. And there's other days where you feel like an all-star mom, where you're like, I got this crap together, I am doing this. Like, we all smiled today, we got fed, the house is clean. And those days are easy, but the days that aren't easy to enjoy parenting are the days that you're like, this is the 10th tantrum today. My kid threw his entire lunch on the floor. Everybody has tears, including yourself. You're hiding in the bathroom trying to get away from them. You're eating the chocolate in your pantry. Whatever it is, those days are a lot harder to find joy in and enjoy those moments. But I challenge you to embrace every day, and I challenge you to embrace the hard times just like you do the good times, and find that little bit of joy inside of them. Because these days, I know my kids are still young, but I can feel it. These days are going to be gone before I know it. And what I don't want to do is look back and realize I missed all of the joy trying to have this perfect family, this perfect motherhood, this perfect parenting gig that doesn't even exist. And I think if we embrace the imperfections and we embrace the messy and the tears and the pain, along with all of the good moments of laughter and memories being made, we won't feel that negativity with parenting. We'll see the joy. We'll be able to embrace the moments as they come, and, you know, really love parenting as for what it really is, not this imaginary movie, TV, book idea that we have. So, you know, if you're struggling with this enjoying thing, take your day, go at the end of the day and get a journal and write down your day. Write down the struggles, write down the joys, and then make a separate list of the enjoyable moments, even in those tough times. Like sometimes the kids are crying, but it gets so bad that it's funny, and you're like, man, this is just a memory. Like, this is a good memory that one day I'm going to look back on and laugh. But you have to really work to find those moments sometimes, because they don't always come easily. But I do challenge you, you know, every day, find the good. Get through the bad the best you can. Call your friend, cry, whatever you got to do. But get through those moments and remember to learn from them and find the joy inside each and every one of them, because this is your life, and it's real life. It's not a pretend life. It's not the one that you envisioned before you had kids, but it's the reality of having kids. And you have to be able to laugh, and you have to be able to cry about it. But I hope that you guys realize that you are good enough. You are good enough for your kids. And I'm trying to put something really exciting together for Mother's Day with the help of some really amazing friends that I have, to show you guys just how much your kids love you, because they do. Oh, Natalie, thank you. Oh, thank you. That gonna make me cry. But anyway, you know, I want you guys to just know I'm not your kid. I can't tell you I love you as a mom or a dad, but I'm telling you that you are amazing. Oh goodness, sorry, I'm having casualties over here. That you are amazing. You are doing such a great job, and we all fail. I am the first to admit it, that I thought I'd be a better mom than I am. And I'm not like I thought I was, but my kids love me, and my kids are happy most of the time, and I'm happy, and our family is doing well. So please stop saying the negative things. Start giving yourself affirmations of how amazing you truly are, and work on those things that kill you. Like yelling is my thing, and every day I strive to not yell at my kids, and I fail almost every day. But it's consciously in my mind all the time that I am working towards being a better mom for my kids, so that they will grow up and just know how much I love them at the end of the day. They might hate me when they're teenagers, but I want them to look back and go, oh man, my mom loved me. And I know that you're doing the same things, and I just challenge you to keep pushing for the, you know, that thing that really gets to you, that you do to your kids that you wish you wouldn't. Keep working. Keep working on it. Reach out to me if you want someone to talk to about it. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I always love talking to other moms. But I just want you guys to know, go leave this series knowing that I think you are good enough. I know you are good enough, and you need to believe in yourself and believe in your parenting, because you are good enough and you're doing the best that you can, and I think you're amazing. So I thank you guys once again for joining me. I'll be posting a blog later with a little bit more info that I didn't share on here, so check that out. And you guys, if there's something you want me to talk about, please feel free to comment or send me a personal message. I would love to talk about something that is near and dear to your heart. So please feel free. It can be about anything. If I don't know anything about it, I would love to research it and find out for you. But feel free to let me know that because I want to help you guys in any way that I can. So thank you again. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.